Hello, welcome to my channel Psychometrics, Data Science and Career Solutions. Today we will talk on a very important question, that is how to conduct a literature review. I have observed throughout my academic career that most of the students are confused about how to do literature review. So today we will talk on how to do literature review, and I will give some important tips and I will talk about the steps of conducting literature review. So first I would talk about the steps of conducting literature review. We should always start from defining a topic on which we want to conduct literature. And once it is defined, we should refine it. The defining and refining process helps in starting literature review in a smooth way. Once the topic is defined, decided, and refined, we should move towards the next step, and that is deciding the scope of the literature. If you are unable to decide the scope of your literature, then you would be haphazard and your literature would be not specific. So you must have the answer to the questions like how many studies do you need to look at, how comprehensive should it be, and how many years it should cover, and similar like other questions that can define the scope of the literature which are you going to review. After defining the scope, the next important step is that you design a clear-cut strategy of your research. If you don't have any clear-cut strategy of searching, then again you would be lost in this whole material that are available to you. So the researcher must decide the methods or the ways of doing literature. He or she must decide the type of the review and the selection of the material and the time allocated, the timeline, which is very important. After you decide the strategy or the methods of conducting literature review, you must decide the databases which you will use for collecting the material. So for this purpose, you make a list of the databases that you would search. Like for example, we have a Scopus. Scopus is like one of the most commonly used and one of the most widely used databases. It has a lot of materials. After deciding the databases, you can also locate the other materials and select the materials. Like you must decide that either you would collect the information from the journals, the research articles, or from the reports or from the books. So locating and selecting material is also very important. The next step is, it's not actually the step, but actually you should follow this throughout the literature review, that you must take notes. Taking notes is very important, and to overcome the quantity of information in order to handle the quantity of the information, taking notes can be very helpful. Taking notes can help to memorize or to record the material that has the material that have been reviewed and that have been studied by the researcher. So the notes can be taken in the shape of short summaries, or making of catalogs, making of tags and cards, etc. It's not just taking notes, but you also need to organize these notes. And it is very important to organize notes, otherwise the researcher might get lost the recorded notes. It would be just a big mess if it is unorganized. So recording and then organizing the notes is very important. If you want to organize it alphabetically or you can organize it chronologically, it depends on you. And after you organize the notes, you can start writing the review. And most commonly, styles of writing review is starting from the broader to the narrow or from the narrow to the broader. It depends on your writing style. Keep in mind that literature review is a systematic process. It's not a haphazard process, and you must keep in mind that literature review is an activity that can be done in a patient way rather than in a hurry or in a haphazard way. So apart from the points that I have earlier mentioned, you must follow the following points. That is the A, start by keeping in mind the goal of research. Without the goal of research, like you are doing just nothing. B, start by presenting simple and introductory things first and then gradually move towards the details. And then keep notes side by side, very important. Keep readers in mind. The readers are very important, like to whom you are writing. The most common mistake done by researchers is that they write something that is out of the scope of the reader minds and understanding of the readers. So keep readers always in your mind and read different types of material. Don't just confine to one types of material like only just journal articles or just research papers or just books. Use a blend of these things and practice writing and rewriting. A good review is written by rewriting several times. And finally, give it to others, especially experts who can read what you have written to improve the writer. Okay, reviewers, that was about how to write a literature review. See you in any other documentary on some other interest.